Everyone wants to win the City of Hobart. They all want it on their resume.
We're here to win the race. We're prepared to win the race.
I've been lucky enough to do Rolex races all around the world, and nothing comes close to the reception you get in Hobart.
It's obviously an impossibly difficult race to win.
The Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race, one of the greatest challenges in ocean racing. A 628 nautical mile journey out of the iconic Sydney Harbour. Down Australia's east coast, across the notorious Bass Strait, and finishing with a picturesque passage into Tasmania's capital, Hobart. 3 100-foot maxis led the charge for line honours and the coveted prizes awarded to the victor. Peter Harburg's Reichel Pugh 100 Blackjack, skippered by Mark Bradford. Christian Beck's 1K 100 LawConnect. And Seng Huang Lee's Dovel 100 SHK Scallywag 100, with David Witt at the helm. On a rough first night at sea, which led to the retirements of more than a third of the fleet, Blackjack wrestled the lead from LawConnect. The 100-footers may be better equipped to deal with rough weather, but the conditions certainly took a toll. LawConnect starved of electronics and weather information after blowing her water ballast. Scallywag enduring a series of mechanical issues to compound the woe of their earlier mishap. Mark Bradford and the crew on Blackjack emerged relatively unscathed, pulling clear of LawConnect on the approach to Tasman Island and enjoying a historic procession up the River Derwent.
Our team, unlike a lot of teams in this race, is a full professional sailing team. Everyone's a professional sailor, and we approach it that way because the stakes are high and we want to win the race. So the depth in our group is second to none here. We've got people that won 3 America's Cups. We've got people that won the Sail GP last week. We've got Olympians, we've got yachtsmen of all different levels and pedigrees here, and I'm really proud of that and that team, and it's a unique opportunity to put that together.
I dreamed of once being able to be in the race, but never on a super maxi and never having a chance of winning. I've been very lucky and things have gone better than I would have expected.
I'm one of those guys that my passion's become my occupation, so I'm privileged.
When you do anything in sport, everyone gets very red-blooded and you really want to fight from the beginning. But there's a real art in hanging in the fight and being there. You've only got to win at the end.
Here we are in the dead of night in Hobart, and the leading boat is about to cross the line. Pete,
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Pete, and good morning, everyone. Yes, it's almost over. Almost over. Blackjack's in the river, and, she's just got to get home now, and I think the victory for Line Honours is hers for sure.
It was a very eventful first night yesterday. They probably made a bit better time than we thought they might in the lightning airs down the east coast of Tasmania. It is an inky night in Hobart. The stars are out. There's not a cloud in the sky. Race time is 2 days, 11 hours, 58 minutes, and you can see that the seaway, it's dead calm.
They've had a decreasing breeze all the way from Tasman Island, just ghosting along at the moment.
Peter Harburg, the owner of Blackjack. I wonder if he's still nervous. He won't be happy until they cross the line, because he has experienced in this very race on a different Blackjack having to anchor in the river to stop going backwards.
Doesn't take much breeze to get these monsters moving. You know, they build their own wind. It's called apparent wind. That's wind going across the sail. So once they can get rumbling, they can keep going. But they're making reasonable progress, all things considered here.
LawConnect has been unable to put any real pressure on Blackjack. Once they've got the lead, this Super Maxi yacht has been able to just hold that gap, and it really hasn't altered over the last day, really.
Although, Pete, both these boats are 100-footers, they're very different in design, and Blackjack is a very narrow boat when compared to LawConnect. LawConnect has a bit of stability because of her beam, and that fancies her in fresher air, and we saw that at the start when she really got round the heads and stepped out beautifully away from the rest of the fleet. But these are the conditions that would suit Blackjack, being nice and narrow, and it's a bit like Blackjack, a knife going through butter, whereas with LawConnect, like a spoon going through butter, if I could use that analogy.
Yeah, I think that.
One's big and wide and fat, which is terrific in heavy air, but the thin or the narrower boats is a lot better in the lighter airs. Here's just a Blackjack here. The crew would be all on deck, nervous, but I think quite confident that now, with just a few miles to go, that probably, unless something catastrophic happens, and
they are making forward progress.
They should get there, but it's very slow forward progress, Pete. You can see the headsail there just almost collapsing, and they've almost stopped. 24 hours ago, they were smashing their way into 30 knots winds and cold, wet and wild, and here they are, just drifting along to the finish.
Around Tasman Islands, 40 nautical miles from the finish. The Iron Pot is only 11 nautical miles to the finish, but sometimes that can take you more time than the 600 nautical miles that have gone beforehand.
But that's the beauty of this race. I don't know whether it's beauty, probably not the right word, but that's the challenge of this race. Certainly Storm Bay and the River Derwent have seen a lot of hopes dashed over the years. This will be the slowest elapsed time since 2004, when Nicorette took 2 days, 16 hours. So I'm assuming that Blackjack's going to finish within 4 hours, but who knows? She might not at the way she's going, but it's incredibly slow progress. And of course, this boat won line honours in 2009 as Alfa Romeo. She was fifth to finish in 2019 and second behind Wild Oats in 2018 and third in 2017. So maybe this could be her year, and it certainly looks like it.
That might be the John Garrow light we see flashing in front of us there. So that's 2.1 nautical miles from the finish. So at 4 knots, she will probably take about half an hour from there. That distinctive checkered flag hull, Blackjack, named by the motor racing enthusiast owner Peter Harburg in honour of his motor racing mate, the 3-time Formula One world champion Blackjack Brabham.
Well, I think he'd like some of Jack Brabham's revs out there at the moment. That would certainly help. But
there is some
she's
speed being made now. Yeah,
starting to rumble a little bit, but it's still very light airs.
The local time here is 1:10 in the morning. Sunrise is at 5:32, so they're going to be finishing, we hope, in darkness. It would be nice to have a dawn finish, but that's not going to be the case.
Those red lights you can see are the instrumentation that the crew look at for give them wind direction, wind speed, boat speed. Very critical, but she's just picking up speed. You can see the wake now has lifted, and she's making reasonable progress. Not great progress, but it's steady progress. And they can probably smell and see the finishing line, but it's still a little way to go. '17 crew on board. Mark Bradford's the skipper, and he's been the right-hand man on the various Blackjacks over a number of years. Highly experienced sailor.
I'm sure to get Blackjack into this position, the navigator and the tactician have been trying to spot the wind shifts, because I don't think it would matter where they went on the river right here, they would not have a lot of breeze to find.
This boat has a canting keel. The keel can move from side to side, and in these lighter airs they position it so that the boat is heeled slightly, and that just gives a bit more impetus and gets the sails setting at a better angle for these very light conditions. But at the moment the keel would be on the centre or two to the leeward side to give the boat a bit of heel. Very quiet there, the crew, minimal movement, and just slowly just see that how quiet it is, and just a little bit of wake coming off the bow. And while she's quietly coming to the finish, the real battle is for the handicap honours on the east coast of Tasmania and up into Bass Strait. It's all to play for the handicap prize.
The 3 Maxi yachts, 100-footers, have led from the start, and they've swapped positions a little. Scallywag had problems after the start in Sydney Harbour. Then LawConnect into second place. Blackjack was the third of the Maxis to head south. She is now first, and apart from a catastrophe, will take line honours in the 2021 Rolex Sydney Hobart. But LawConnect, perhaps conditions haven't quite suited them. They've done a lot of work to their yacht to try and make it more competitive, but it is the checkered flagged liveried Blackjack that they must now know that nothing can rob us of this race, and it would be robbery. He's come close so many times, but this will be the first time for Peter Harburg, who for his third Blackjack, to finally take line honours in this race.
Yes, it's wonderful, really. He's been trying for a long while. He's been a great supporter of the race. And here's the graphic now. You can see the finish up there in Battery Point, just under Hobart. The name Hobart there is going across Sandy Bay, and she's round Garrow and homeward bound now. The breeze just looks even a bit lighter, if that's possible, I think, Peter. You can see the wake just slowing down, and you can see the reflection of all the lights on the foreshores there, and it's very, very slow movement now for Blackjack. And they're just absolutely drifting along now. It's probably just a couple of knots at best, but they're keeping the momentum rolling, which is so critical. If they lose momentum and lose the wind, it takes a lot to get the boat rolling again. But they're getting closer.
When they do cross the line and get up here to King's Pier, it's going to be a while before they actually can come ashore. The crew of 17 are all going to have to undergo rapid antigen testing to make sure they are not COVID positive. So there's some protocols to observe both on and off the water this year. It is a race like no other, but we have had a race this year after last year COVID knocking the Sydney Hobart off the racing calendar for the first time since 1945. This will be a first for Queensland, taking line honours in this race, and I guess for Monaco as well. I wonder if Prince Albert is preparing a letter to send to Peter Harburg now, who went across to the Mediterranean and was going to race this boat over there, and because of COVID unable to do so, so it's been shipped from Queensland to Monaco in a container vessel twice without actually racing. It's still got the Monaco registration, but very much a Queensland yacht.
They're not far away now, and this will be a wonderful victory. Any victory in the Hobart is special, and after trying for so many years for Peter Harburg and his team, it's a just reward for a fantastic performance.
Here we are, we're about to see line honours taken in the 2021 Rolex Sydney Hobart. Celebrations about to erupt on board Blackjack. The checkered flag is not too far away. There might even be some shaking of hands. I think they might nearly have crossed. Yes, there's cheering from outside.
They've done it.
The checkered flag has finally dropped for Blackjack. Peter Harburg's 100-footer from Queensland and Monaco, and they are the winners. They've taken the Illingworth Trophy line honours.
Full marks to them. What a magnificent effort to get through the rough stuff and then get through the calms and just drift across the finishing line. fabulous effort, a wonderful reward to this crew who tried so hard for a number of years to take the prize, and now it's theirs. The Illingworth Cup becomes Peter Harburg's for 12 months and maybe longer, who knows. He comes back next year to defend the Line Honours title, but fantastic performance by these 17 crew members. Very happy there, hugging each other. There's Mark Bradford, the skipper there. There's Adam Bieshel there. They'll be absolutely delighted.
Pete and I have been working on this for 14 years. Yeah, 14 years, so it means a lot. We had a tough race with both the other boats. We dropped Scallywag near the end for a bit, but she came back, and then LawConnect was right there the whole way. They led us for a bit, but we clawed it back at the end, and when it gets light, this boat's so special, so yeah.
Oh, it is very, very emotional. Yeah, I mean, it is the grand prize of yachting in Australia. And for me, it's the first time I've been involved in the winning team. For Mark, he's done it before, but yeah, very special.
It wasn't a super tough race. It was only 25 knots, but on the wind's always hard, and there's a lot of retired boats. So to get through the first night was our first part of our plan, and then we knew we could sort of sneak away from there.
This is the prize that's eluded us all along, and I don't know whether I want to cry or laugh or give Mark a hug or hug everyone else. It's just, you know, I can't describe it.
The only problem I think we had is our boat's too heavy for sustained light winds, and we had a whole day of light winds, and to come second in that is great, I think. So I think the crew did everything right, nothing broke. Nothing significant broke, actually, a few little things broke, but nothing significant. And we had a good result considering the conditions. Those guys weren't there. On this boat's sort of more difficult than most boats because it's so heavy and the sails are so big and the loads are much higher. So in those conditions, it's more important than ever. So they did a great job not to break anything and to get us in the position after the first night. I feel very happy that Peter Harburg won because he's had a lot of bad luck actually in sailing. So if anyone could win it other than us, I'd choose him. So I'm glad they got that.
We have a team ethos in SHK Scallywag to endure, adapt, and hopefully excel. We didn't get the excel bit, but we certainly endured and adapted. And obviously, our sailing teams are known around the world for never giving up. We don't do that. So, any thought doesn't exist about pulling out, or it's just how we deal with the problem, the quickest way we can do it and fix it. And we had a lot of that to do. So that's why I'm really proud of the team. I mean, they're an awesome bunch of guys, and even the new guys. We got guys here first timers, first Hobart race, and I think they get inspired by the rest of the blokes that nothing's ever too difficult, nothing's too hard, and we just get on with it. So we put a lot of importance on how we act and how we look after each other and the sort of image we want to be as a team, regardless of the result. So we've had a lot of setbacks in the last 5 years, and some big ones and some little ones, but as a group we handle it really well. So in saying that, we haven't got a result. We just got to keep having a go, and hopefully one day we'll get a result. Yeah, super proud, super surprised, but it just gets tougher because the closer you get, the closer you think you can win the thing, and the more that goes wrong, that sort of breaks you, to be honest. We've got a foundation in Hong Kong where we teach underprivileged kids to sail, and this isn't just a bunch of blokes that go sailing. This is a corporate sailing team that represents a public SHK in Hong Kong and all of Hong Kong really. So probably let a few people down, but it's always next year.
It finished off really well for us. it was a nice challenging race, and it quietened down enough, and we got to do what we did and pull it off. It was great, really good. We did a lot of work early on in the track and where we wanted to position ourselves with mind to the weather, and as it played on through the days, the inshore route was looking possible, and it's got the side benefit of being flat of water, which suits our boat. Yeah, we gave it a good look, and it paid off with the shifts and the tactic, the positioning of the other boats. We weren't going to win the race that night, but we could well have lost it. We knew we needed a bit with the reach across the bottom, especially. We needed to have a good little jump on LawConnect. That's a strong point for her. So, we worked up the shore pretty. There was a few nerve-wracking moments off the east coast of Tassie where they were they sailed around us a little bit, but no, we had enough break and just drifted up. Oh, it's incredible. I mean, I've grown up watching the Sydney Hobart boats and being down here every year, and finally to come across the line first is massive.
Can I acknowledge our Tasmanian Aboriginal people, the traditional and continuing custodians of the land and the beautiful waters that surround us. Congratulations to Blackjack on line honours. What a tremendous achievement, and one that can only be achieved through enormous commitment, hard work leading up to and of course during the race. Your skills, your courage, your endurance, and of course your sense of adventure, and I congratulate all the crew at Blackjack.
Would you put your hands together please for the skipper of Blackjack, Mark Bradford. Peter Harburg wants to come forward. He's tried with 2 previous Blackjacks. He's finally succeeded with a 3rd one, and he does get a winner's medallion. Can we have the skipper and the owner together to receive the Rolex, please? And if you're just joining us, the time it took for Blackjack to get from Sydney to Hobart, 2 days, 12 hours, 37 minutes, 17 seconds, to be recorded forever on that watch. Big round of applause.
It took a long time to get to the top step, but we're very happy to be here. The crew have been incredible, and they're all Australians. Every crew member is an Australian, and I think that's the first time for many years that every crew member of a winning yacht has been Australian. So,
The checkered flag has finally waved for Peter Harburg and Blackjack. This was no stroke of luck, but a victory born from many years of ambition and dedication.
Oh, we came to win. We came to win the race. We gave it everything.
Another chapter is written in the history of the great race. The 2021 Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race is proudly supported by Rolex, the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, Transport for New South Wales, Tourism Tasmania, Events Tasmania, Tasports, City of Hobart, The Luxury Collection, The Tasman, Devil's Corner, CUB, Sail Media, Flight Risk Media, and Hype TV. The Cruising Yacht Club of Australia would like to thank all partners and sponsors for the 2021 Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race.